Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from inside my 16-foot Wolf Pup camper that appears to be the best value of any camper out there. I went to an RV show today, and even though I saw some pretty good deals on some towables, in comparison to the driving kind of RVs, what I paid for this, $11,000, is hard to beat. And the fact that I've been in it for a year and a half and I don't know what a penny now is a deal. They want $35,000, $40,000 with tax, and then probably with interest and payments and all that. Who knows what you would end up paying for something that's about this size or a little bigger. So I think I'll just stay with what I got until further notice, but you never know. Anyway, tonight's video is not about RVs. We made a video about that today. Hope you enjoyed it. Tonight's video is, I've been getting some questions in the comments about how much do I get for Social Security, or how is it determined? And although I won't be able to tell you how much your particular check will be, that will simply be by going on to ssa.gov on the Social Security website, and you can create your own personal My Social Security account. And I recommend you do that. But you can put in your information and verify that it's you, and it will tell you what you're going to get based on your income that you've made at 62 all the way up to, I think, 70 years old. But here's some information that might help you understand the formula. And what Social Security does is they base your best 35 years of earnings. So if you worked 50 years, your lowest years would be just dropped off, and they would take your highest earnings of 35 years and use that as a formula. It's not an average. It's just they use those years. So you get to use your highest earning years to get, the best you can get for your Social Security check. Now, the opposite is true. If I worked over 50 years of tax returns, I did in the car business, I was 17 years. I had my own business for 33 years. So, and then I had some odd jobs, in between. So I had almost 50 years of earnings. And so they took my best 35 years and dropped off all the lower years. Now, if you didn't work 35 years, which is a case for a lot of people, sometimes it could be a spouse that stayed at home, could be a man or a woman. Generally, it's the woman. Or you didn't file your taxes for a lot of years, and so therefore you didn't pay in to your Social Security. The 35 years they look at, if you didn't earn anything or you didn't file, you get a big fat 0 for that year. So that certainly will bring your check amount down. Now, I have some notes here. If you'll forgive me, I can put my see-rights on so I can see right. And I wanted to tell you that the average check is $1,543 as of 2021. So that's probably about what I got before the big increase last year of 8.7% on the COLA, cost of living adjustment through inflation, which was the largest in 40 years. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. So as of 2021, the average check at 62 years old, the earliest you can claim, it was $1,543. And the highest check as of 2021 you could receive at full retirement age was $3,148. But here's the bad news on that one. You would have had to average the highest income possible because you pay more in on your Social Security the more you make, right? Just like you pay more federal taxes, or if you have a state you live in that charges state tax, all your taxes are more the more money you make. So you would put more in on your Social Security, but to get that $3,148 at full retirement age for the rest of your life, for 35 years, you would have had to average 140, consistently, not average, $142,800 a year for 35 years in a row. So, as you can see, that's why when I talk about the full retirement income increase is only like $700. So, it's not double. So, don't get your hopes up. But if you made $142,800 for 35 years in a row, and you wait till 67 years old, you can get yourself $3,148. Now, and we talked about you get zeros if you worked less than 35 years. Now, when you do become 65 and you get that 1543, or like mine is 1700 right now with the cost of living adjustment, at 65 years old, you're automatically, if you're already on Social Security, which I recommend you collect at 62 the day you can, unless you're making so much money that they would just take the money back from you, because there is an income limit of $21,240. So if you're making $150,000 or $142,800 right now, and you're turning 62 this year, and you like that money and you like that job, I wouldn't collect Social Security. I just keep on making $142,800. And but most people aren't. So where was that? Oh yeah, the Medicare. At 65 years old, and you're already getting Social Security at 62, or you might have took it at 63. You know, you can take it at 63 in 1 month. You can take it at 62 in 6 months. Any month, any year after 62, you can collect your Social Security. And believe it or not, every 30 days that you wait after 62, you would get a little bit more. So, you know, you can think about that. So the $170, it's $168, $167 right now. Let's just round it up to $170. You can have them take that out of your Social Security, which most people do. So at 65 years old, when you get on Medicare, and you'll automatically be enrolled in A and B, and this $170 is for your Part B, okay? And you can have them just take that right out of your Social Security. And also, I keep saying this, if you're already drawing, you will automatically be enrolled in Medicare. If you haven't started your Social Security yet, at 65, you will need to call them and start your Medicare, because if you don't, there is a penalty for starting later. And you can avoid the penalty if you don't want to draw Social Security and you're making like that $142,800 a year, and you don't want to take Social Security, and you're on an insurance plan at your job, as long as there's 20 or more full-time employees and it's a creditable insurance company, and you prove that the day you do retire, you will not get any kind of a penalty when you start your Medicare later. So, but anyway, now for the inflation rate that we get, I talked about the 8.7%, and I got on my check about $125, $140. I like to round it up to like $150, something like that. I got a couple of years ago, or was it last year actually, our biggest COLA, cost of living adjustment, increase in 40 years. And to back up on the Medicare, it's generally around 10% of what your check is. So, but the Medicare increase every year, which has gone up. It was $147 a few years ago. It's $170 now. That increase that they charge on Medicare, which they will every year, cannot exceed the cost of living index. So generally we get about 25 to next year it's already going to be, they already say it's going to be 2.3%. It's going to work out to like $30. And that's about what it's been, or less, every year for 40 years. So when people talk about the COLA by waiting for your Social Security, this inflation rate that you get in addition by waiting 5 more years, it's a little bit, but the thing is, the Medicare goes up. So it's kind of a wash. And the Medicare, like I said, cannot exceed, it cannot go up more than the cost of living adjustment, the COLA. So you don't have to worry about, you know, your Medicare going higher than what they give you for inflation on your increased check amount every year. But you can worry about this. You're going to get nothing because one goes up and the other one goes up, and it's a wash. And that's the way it's been for decades. So unless we get another 8.7% or more or something anywhere in that realm, and see $125 to $140 increase, which is what it should be every year to really afford the inflation that we have, that will be the only time you'll ever see any good news about the COLA. So moving on, and have it deducted from your Social Security. So after you get it at 62, which again I recommend you do, you get to enjoy 5 years of no Medicare taken out. You don't have insurance though, which is another story. You can get the Affordable Care Act if your Social Security is your only income, and it's based on your income, and they will subsidize it. And you can get a catastrophic policy from some insurance company to keep you from, you know, something major happen of losing everything you have, or you can go without. I mean, it's up to you. But there is no insurance until you get Medicare at 65, unless you carry your own. But you get to keep that $170 that you can use at 62 if you want, and apply it early because you're going to lose it anyway at 65, and just put that towards some insurance policy that you want to get for medical. So that's something there, either towards the Affordable Care Act, another policy, a catastrophic policy, or keep it and go without insurance. That's all up to you. All right. So, and you can also keep in mind that when you draw your Social Security and you start working, that you might owe taxes on your Social Security. If you only take Social Security and that's your only income, you're not going to owe any federal tax. You're not going to owe any income tax. You really won't. But if you earn money, you could end up paying some income taxes. And so you could tell Social Security to deduct either 7, 10, 12, or 22%. 7, 10, 12, or 22% of your check every month towards income tax. And if you owe more at the end of the year, you just pay the difference. If you didn't owe that much that they deducted, you'll just simply get it back. Personally, I don't have anything deducted. I'll take my chances and I'll square up with the U.S. government and the IRS when that time comes to file my taxes. I don't want to give them anything any sooner than I have to. That's just the way I go. I think that's the way most people do it. And then, what do I have here? Oh yeah, this is something that, you know, politicians, and it gets buzzed around on the internet, and there's a rumor that it might run out of money. It's only going to be funded till 2033, and there's a chance that, you know, there won't be any Social Security by the time you're old enough to get it, or even if you are getting it, you won't get it anymore because it'll stop, it'll run out of money and all that. And right from the Social Security website, they just say right there, forget that nonsense. That's never going to happen, because you have hundreds of millions of people that have paid in of their own money towards it through their taxes and are drawing on it, and they will always find a way. If they got a way to fund wars and everything else that they fund, Social Security is never going to be one that they ever not, you know, they'll ever discontinue. Now, they have raised the full retirement age to 67 years old if you're born after 1970. And right now, that is the very latest in life that you could be to get your full retirement amount, which is dumb. Don't do it. Get it at 62 because it takes you to your, you know, 80 years old to ever get more money than taking it at 62. I got other videos on it. Check it out. We won't. I digress. We've already went over that a million times. But what else have I got here? Oh, and a lot of people don't even know they can collect their Social Security or have anything coming to them, or at the age of 62 even. Believe it or not, today in my comments, I had, and it made my day, it really did, and I hope you're watching this video, someone, and he made such a funny joke, or I don't know if it was a man or a woman, to be honest with you. Everybody got these usernames, I can't tell the gender, and sometimes I don't even read the username. But anyway, they made a very comical comment. It was quite long, if I can remember it. Something like, I can collect my Social Security at 62. Tomorrow, I'm going to melt my tires out of my driveway, drift around the corner, slide out, burn out my tires, all this stuff, straight to Social Security tomorrow to get my money coming in. I thought that was hilarious. And I believe them. I mean, I've had other comments. People didn't know. People didn't know that their spouses could draw half of what your husband gets if it's more than what you can get. People didn't know if you divorce somebody 20 years ago and they've even remarried 3 more times, you can get half of his or her Social Security if you have reached the age of 62 and want to draw on it. So many people are benefiting from little things that come in the videos, which I'm very happy about, and I hope and pray that this information can also help you understand a little bit about, because I get questions, people want to know, and all of these things can be ascertained on the Social Security website, but it can be daunting, it can be confusing reading the website. Some people aren't into reading all that and everything, and even when you call them, I've had comments where people said the person that they talked to there confused them and wasn't able to really give them the information they were looking for. That's sad right there if that's true. But what I just gave you here was how they determine it. Make sure you get it at 62 years old, unless you're making $142,800 or more a year, and you don't want to go down to just making what Social Security is paying you, and you just love that job. I think I might love my job too if I was making $145,000, $150,000 a year. And then again, I don't know. But anyway, get your Social Security as soon as you can. Make yourself some money, because it's not going to be enough. and supplement it. Remember, you can make $21,240. You'll be able to make more next year. Don't worry about what you made the year you start getting it, as long as you don't make any more than how much your check is when you get it at 62 for the remainder of the year. If you worked, let's say your birthday's December like mine, if I made $1 million that year, it wouldn't hurt me. They wouldn't take anything back from me as long as I didn't make more than the $1,700 a month, which is what I get. So if your birthday's in June and you get $1,700 a month, but you made $80,000 up until then, just don't make more than $1,700 a month after you start getting your Social Security, and that year you're okay. And then every year after that, you have a limit. And then the year that you become full retirement age, that entire year, and for me it's going to be August of 25. So in 2025, I'm going to be 66 in 8 months, because I'm going to be 65 this year. 66 in 24, and then sometime in 25. So in 25, I can earn, currently it's $56,525. Who knows how much it'll be by then? So let's say it's 60 grand. Who knows that I can make? So you see, collecting Social Security at 62 and worrying about making money is only, unless you don't have any other source of money and your Social Security is going to be so low, and the 21,240 together with your Social Security is so low, and you have a lot of debt. This could be not a good thing. But the goal is to have no debt, quit that job, go to work half as often, start living your life, because nobody's promised tomorrow. Live your life, start enjoying retirement, freedom, more time to go and do what you want to do, more days of the week, more hours of the week, staying up later at night, sleeping in more in the day. It's just awesome. It's just really awesome. And be your own boss. That's the great thing about it. But get yourself financially to where you can make some money and get some money, and together you're doing great because your overhead is low. Like, I'm living in a paid-for camper, and all my debt is zero except the basic living costs. I have insurances, food, gas, those kinds of things. So anyway, that's the Social Security story. It's a little bit different than the other videos I've made. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you thought that together at 62, we can start crushing it.